Can your ears hear the difference between year and ear? If so, can you make those two words sound different from each other, or do they pretty much sound the same when you say them? If this has been a problem for you, then stay tuned because I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that. Hi, I'm Lori with Pronunciation Pro and CommuniClinic. In each of my videos, I provide just a snippet of information about American English pronunciation. A snippet is a small amount of something. So in each video, we zoom in on one tiny detail that can make a big difference in how natural you sound and how well people understand you. After all, that's the goal, right? Okay, so let's talk about those two words, year and ear. What's different about them? Can you tell? I'm going to say them slowly again and listen to the beginning of the words. Year, ear. The difference is that on year, I'm gliding into that beginning sound. Year. And on ear, I'm starting that beginning sound abruptly with no glide. Ear. Now, a lot of my students can hear the difference between these two words, but they can't make a distinction between them when they attempt to say them, and they both end up sounding like ear. And the reason for this is that they don't understand how to glide into the Y sound in year. Instead, they start that word from a completely stopped voice, ear. I'm initiating that E sound right here, and it sounds quite abrupt. E, E, ear, versus y, y, year. Let me give you another example. If I pronounced this word as S, you would say, hey, you're missing the Y at the beginning. That should be yes, not S. Your ears are hearing that the gliding sound at the beginning of yes was missing. It's no different with year, but that long E sound right after a Y is a really challenging combination for lots of non-native speakers, probably because the two sounds are really similar as far as tongue position. So it's just getting into that position that's different. So let's practice going from a Y sound, y, to a long E sound. We're going to start as if we're going to say the word yes, but we're only going to say the first sound, y, y. Do you feel how your voice is gliding into that sound? Y, y. Now, instead of letting your tongue drop into the vowel sound, as in yeah, we're going to keep it up high and glide right into a long E from that Y. Ye, ye. Notice how I'm not letting my voice break between the two sounds. It's not ye, but rather ye. Now, we're just going to add an R sound at the end. Year, year. So if we take a phrase like every year, most of my students want to break their voicing between those two words. But native speakers link them together like this. Every year, every year. There is no break between them. Instead, we're gliding right into that second word, just like we glide into the word yes. Now let's try a different combination. 1 year. Here, I'm just rolling my tongue from an N to a Y shape without breaking my voicing. 1 year. Let's do another example. 2 years. Here I'm gliding from an oo to the Y sound with no break in my voicing. 2 years. But what if we have a stop consonant in front of that word year? Don't we break then? Yes, we do. And that means we have to glide into the Y from a stopped voice. For example, 8 years. Not 8 ears. That's an abrupt start. But 8 years. So starting from a completely stopped voice, you're going to first do that y sound that you would do at the beginning of yes, and then glide into the E just like we did a few minutes ago. Ye, ye, years. Okay, I think we're ready to try this in sentences now. We're going to also practice with some other words where the Y sound is followed by a long E, because the same technique will be used for those words. I'm going to pause after each sentence so you can repeat it after me. And when I get to the target word, I'm going to slow down a bit so you can hear how I'm gliding into that Y sound. Ready? Here we go. She has a 9-year-old son. Drivers have to yield to pedestrians at crosswalks. In what year were you born? She ran out of yeast for making bread. We go back home every year to visit family. Hopefully this explanation has helped those of you who have struggled with this Y plus long E combination. If so, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. And do let me know in the comments if there are particular sound combinations that have been really challenging for you. In the meantime, happy practicing, and I'll see you in my next video.